Testing first.
Testing.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Here we go. It's Wednesday. Time for the dad joke of the day.
Yes. All right, let's get started. So, if your house is cold, just stand there in the corner. It's always 90 degrees there.
Oh, I get it. For a second there, I didn't get it. Hey, check out this new shirt. That's a cool shirt. Where'd you get that?
Mom bought it for me.
Wow. What does this say? Hurley. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a brand.
Okay, buddy. Good one again, as always. We'll see you next time. Okay, here we go, guys. It's Wednesday, May 22. And, man, LA is having some weird weather today. Really weird. It's totally out of the ordinary. Here, I'll show. I'll cut in a shot here of what's going on out there. Okay, so let's get going. So today is going to be an experimental day. I'm kind of excited for this. So that's the whole purpose of this thing. Is just that these YouTube videos, these projects, are basically experiments on a small scale with paper first, and then a small scale, and then we see if we can scale them up. So today, what I want to do is I want to put our standard butterfly on, our 0 DTE butterfly we've been doing, but I want to do it in a different way, a way that I haven't tried for a while. I've done these before, but it's been a while in this exact situation at the initiation of the trade. So what we're going to do is, let's take a look at the butterfly. So I need to reposition that. So this is going to be just the basic butterfly we've always done. And let's kind of tune this in here. So it's trading at 53.20. So let's go up to 53.20. We're doing the calls, right? Well, you know what? I'm going to do the puts on this because I haven't put it on yet, but there's a trade I'm going to be putting on very likely on the call side. So I'm going to do this on the puts. So the center will be 53.20. It's going to be 15 wide. So 20.35 on the upside and 0.5 on the downside. Okay, so there's the butterfly. It's nice and centered. So this is just our standard 15 wide butterfly we've been trading all along, one contract. But then we're going to put on is what is called snow tires. And it's basically at the initiation of the trade, we just put on a long call and a long put, same expiration. I mean, you could do the next day expiration, but let's do today's with same day expiration. And we just need to figure out which ones we want to do. And basically we start off with a position like this. So this is the snow tire trade. And you can see our theta is still great. So without these, the theta is 900. With these little wings, the theta is 800. So that's not too bad of a cut in theta. And the thing is, like if there's a big move right away, we could be profitable just directionally from these. These will continue to sag throughout the day, but they're going to add a super nice, really nice gliding break type of a system if there's a big move either way. And we can adjust these however we want. Let's see if we got the put up to a 52.90. So we could go like that. Let's see if the call we come in by 5. So that's a little bit overdone, I think. But you have to remember these things, these wings here are going to be like drooping throughout the day, lower and lower and lower. So this is just to kind of protect us from a big move. This trade would take longer to reach profit, at least it has in the past when I've used it. But it's just kind of like the granny way. This is the grandma way of trading these. It's just with a bunch of like super nice protective wings on it. Snow tires, basically. Let me see if I pull this in by 5. What will that do? Yeah, I mean, that's a little overdone, I think. I mean, you could do whatever you want. This is a democracy. It's America. So I'm just kind of visually kind of see what I want to do here. The put can go down. So you can tweak it in visually. I'm a visual person. But you could also tweak it in delta. So the delta, we're delta neutral. We have 700 theta. And I say let's do this. So I'm going to put the live money on trade on first, the snow tire version of it. So let's see if we can get filled here at the money, or at 540. Okay. We have to cave in. I'm going to cave in by 5 points here. Come on, you market makers. Trying to get 545. It's bouncing all over the place. The live mark there, you can see it's at 545 right now. 552. I could wait if I was a patient man, but I'm not. Or I am. I can be, but I just have too much stuff going on. I got to get this off and running. So we're trying to get it at 550 now. And those darn market makers keep ticking the price up. I'm really kind of just giving this away. This is not a good example of how to cave in. I'm just chasing them now. Come on, guys. I like it. I like the way that looks. But I'm not getting filled. Oh, so 37. I should be getting filled now. Come on. So I'm going to cave in. I'm caving in too fast here. Like, the correct way to do this is to take your time and don't cave into them so quick. But I just got stuff to do today. I got to run around this morning. It's going to be a kind of a crazy day. And I'm not getting filled. What's up with that? They're taking me to the cleaners today. Let's say 65. Not 70, 65. Jeez. Okay, finally we got filled at 565. So let's come over here. We'll lock that in. 565. So let's put our snow tires on. And let's start with the call. So the call, let's see how much of a spread there is. I can just take this to the middle. So it looks like 70. Let's see if I can get in at 70. Okay, we got 70 on that. Let's lock that in. And then we'll do the put side, which gives us this risk graph here. So we'll say create duplicate order, and then we will we'll try to go for 50 here. So I'm trying to get this at 50. It's saying 55. This is where I do want to move. I don't want to fart around here on these singles. I want to get in. Okay, so we got 55 on that. So 55 and 70. So there's our trade. 55, 70, and 565. Okay, there we go. So we're off and running. So we have a theta of 780-ish. It's not too shabby. Positive vega. That's cool. We're delta neutral right now. So we'll just continue to watch this. This is our live money trade for the day. A slight variation. Snow tires. And again, it's been a while since I've done this. I have done these a lot before, but it's been a while. So with numerous trades, not just the butterflies. You can do this with a lot of different trades. So there's our real money trade. Now let's put our paper monies on real quick that we're following every day. So we'll say May 22, 24, no, May 22. That's today, 0 DTE. And then we'll just do the calls on these because the calls these are all paper money. These aren't real positions. These are just like tracking positions. So let's start off with buy, analyze, trade, butterfly. So the butterfly will be 5 points. So I'm going to lock that in. Then I'm going to say analyze trade. Right, I forgot that. My brain locked up. Analyze trade to duplicate that. And then we'll go 5 points out. We'll stretch the wings. There we go. That's the 10-pointer. Then we'll say analyze trade. And this will be the 15-pointer. This will be the 15-pointer without the snow tires. Okay. Here we go. The finger swims a little slow this morning. I hope that's not coming back. Okay, here's the next one. This is going to be a 20-pointer. 20 points. There we go. And then I'll say duplicate that. We're going to do 25. I got to talk to my main man, Rob. I'm talking to him tomorrow. I'm going to hone in and figure out exactly how we can test his idea on the standard, using the standard deviation widths, which I think is a cool idea. But I want to get on the phone with him and the Zoom, get on the Zoom with him and make sure I understand exactly what he's thinking. And then, so maybe like Friday we can start that one. Okay, so where are we now? We're at, this is the 25. Getting there. The next one will be 30. 30. Here we go. There's 30. We're kind of moving up here. Aren't we? We're not really centered so perfectly anymore. So that's the, let's look at that again. This is the 30. Okay. And then one more, the 40. So this will be 85 and 55. Okay, so that's 40 points. Oh no, it's not. I gotta get one more. Okay, there's 40 points. So let's put that on. We'll lock that in. And there we go. We're off and running. So let's just go back and look at our live money trade real quick and see how this thing is looking. Let's zoom in here. So we'll keep track of the time it takes to get like even anywhere near a profit. But you can see if there's a move up or down. We can ride this thing longer. Because a lot of the trades like I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, they will go pretty far. There's been times they'll go past the stop loss amount. Like if these weren't on. Like say we had a 1 stop loss amount. And we should also check this too. So this is without the wings. Without the wings, this position is up 21 bucks. But let's see where the stop loss. So say it moved up. The stop loss is, if it's a one-time stop loss, it's going to be 50 bucks right here. If it's a 2 times, it's going to be 100, which would be like in here. So 51.30-ish. But with the wings, snow tires, 51.30-ish, you can see we're actually, well, yeah, we're making a little bit of profit at this moment. These will continue to droop. They'll essentially become the blue line by the end of the day. But for the good portion of the morning, these will hold up. If I remember correctly, we'll see. And see how long it takes to get into profit, if we get into profit, compared to a trade without the wings. Like so. So without the wings, this trade would be up 25 bucks right now. It's just not too shabby. With it, we're up like a couple bucks. But you got to remember, this is for grandma. This is grandma's butterfly, 0 DTE butterfly. She doesn't like a lot of stress. She wants to preserve her capital. She just wants to enjoy her morning. Okay, so that's it. So I'll be back in about, I don't know, say 30 minutes or so. I have to do some running around this morning, so I may not hit all those updates that I usually do. I got to run out of the house and run around town and stuff. But we'll get through it, and maybe I'll come back like in a half hour or an hour, and we'll do our first check-in. All right, see you then. Okay, here's just a quick check-in. I want to show you where we're at with this live money trade. So right now, the live money trade without those two wings, without the the chains, without the snow tires, it looks like it would be hitting profit target right about now. It's very close. It's like $50. So I would say that this is probably close enough to say this would be when profit target would have been hit on the live money 15 wide butterfly. So it's 7:36 a.m. California time. So there's 50. And I just want to make note of that to see how long of a difference it takes for the snow tire version to get into a profit. So the snow tire version is up 20 to $30. So I guess maybe let's say half. It's about up maybe a little under half. So if we go forward with that number, then I guess it would take twice as long. But we'll see. We'll see when it closes out. Now, the other thing to think about is I don't have an automatic exit order on this because I just want to watch this visually because I don't want to get out of an automatic exit order that will close that out and then leave me like this. I want to get all of these trades off relatively quickly, like right next to each other with not a lot of time between them. So for this trade, I'm just going to watch it manually, kind of check in every 5 minutes or so. And then once it visually shows a profit of around $50, then I'll start to consider pulling it off and pulling it off all together, like not in one trade, but like one right after the other, super quick, so I can reduce the amount of slippage on it. So that's just a check in on that. Again, we're about $20 up on the snow tire version, and on the regular butterfly without any snow tires, we probably would have hit profit target by now. It's showing like a profit of $50 to $60. And then one other thing I want to take a look at. So for this, we're going to use the technical maximum risk on this trade, which is showing down here, the blue line, which is 690. So that's the price of the butterfly, which was 565, plus the call option, which was 70, and the put option, which was 55. That's a total risk, technical risk here, the blue line, of 690. But in reality, what is our risk right now? So if we go to this pink line is the current P&L line. If we go to the lowest point in this droop here, you can see that the number is about down $50. So like in reality right now, this position has a risk of about $50 on the downside, and on the upside, it's going to be less than 50. So again, we're not going to cheat, or quote unquote cheat, and use this smaller number as the risk, but in reality, that is the risk right now. Like if we were at $50 right now, we took it off, the real risk, as far as I look at it, would be about where we're at with the pink line. So even if we're like, say 30, even if we said it's $100, which there's a big buffer in there, we could say the risk is actually about $100. That's super conservative what the real risk is if it's like showing 40 right now. So that's just something else to sort of think about with this setup. So I'll just continue to monitor this and we'll see how long it takes to hit our profit target if we hit it. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, testing. We are at 8 o'clock. So our last check was about 30 minutes ago. Here's where our snow-tired version is at now. It's bouncing around. I saw 50 a few times, so that's why I started this video. Let's see where we're at. It's taking long. So at 7:30, let's find that. The non-chain, snow chain version hit profit target. And now it's at 80-ish, $80. Now the snow chain version, snow tires, is at 30 to, let's say $30. So we may have to wait a little bit longer. I was thinking I thought maybe we were really close to it. I saw 50 a few times. There's 40. There's 50. So I just have some trades set up to get out. The first thing I'll do is I'll get out of the butterfly, which leaves us with a position like this, basically a strangle. And then I'll just real quickly get out of these. These should fill quickly. The butterfly would be the more difficult one, so that's the one I want to do first. So once that's filled, then I'll just try to quickly get out of these. And you can see the prices jumping around. So I guess I need to create quite a good sized buffer. Like say, so it's showing 40, 50 now. Like maybe when it shows 60-ish, then I could set the order to get out of this butterfly and then get out of those singles as quick as I can. So that's just a quick update. This thing could pop quickly, so I may be back in just a couple of minutes here. But that's the current status of where we're at. So I'll be back. Okay, here it is. It's 8:23, and this is our snow tire butterfly. And it's flirting with the number 60, a profit of $60. You can see how these wings here are starting to droop a bit. But we've gotten up to about 60, so I'm going to try to ease my way out of this thing. And I need to start with, oh, that's not it. I need to start with the butterfly. So I get the butterfly out at 655-ish. We'll be at a current profit of like 60. So I'm gonna try to get out a little bit more than that, because we're just dealing with 3 pieces here now. So let's say I'm going to put this at 680. Let me put that order out there. So I'm asking 680. It's at 667. Let's see what our position looks like. So the position live is like just over 50. Oh, it's bouncing around. So maybe 675. Maybe I'll change this order to 675. I'll come back a little bit. 675. Okay, we're right there, man. And I'll get ready to take these singles off. Keep our ear out for that chime. We're trying to get it at 675. It's at 660. It's at 670. 672. I'm just going to let that work for a second. You can see the price right here at 660, 665 right now. We're trying to get 675. Now it's 670. Come on. Let's do it. I saw 675 there. You see that? 675. It's not going. Come on. So as soon as this gets filled, we'll go for these singles, and usually these are like about 5 cents over what I think I can get. So I said I can sell this for 40, so I'm going to try 45, and then this one I'm going to try at 35. And if I don't get filled, I'll just cave in and get as close to 50 or better as I can on the trade. Now some may want to hold this trade on, just continue. I mean, it looks really good. So the technical risk is 690, this blue line, but what I call the real risk. What's the real risk? at the low point of this pink line. So this pink line is today. If it were to move up here, like in theory, it should be around this area of a loss, which is the low point is showing like 58.60. So my quote unquote reality risk is like minus 60 on the downside, and on the upside minus let's say minus 30. We'll say minus 30. Now, if this thing were to move up, this thing could very likely change and start to droop more. Just kind of like if it were to move up real quick, these lines will kind of react weirdly or in conjunction with the price movement. So that could change if there was a move to those areas, but not a lot. I mean, not like a huge difference. I mean, certainly not this blue line. Why aren't we getting filled on this? We should get filled any second. So it's showing 680. Oh, there we go. So we got in at 675. So let's get these other ones off. I'm going to try to get 5 cents more on this. And then I'm going to try to get 5 cents more on this one. I may not get it, but let's try it. I may have to cave in. Okay, so one of them got filled. This one here is giving me, it doesn't want to go. So let's say 35. And so that got in. Okay, so we got 35, 35, and 675. So let's see what our total numbers are. 675, 35, and 35. Okay, let's see what we wound up with. 55 bucks. So $5 over our profit target. It took about an hour. Took about an hour longer than the trade without the snow tires, which looked like this. So without the snow tires, this trade would be at $100 right now, but we would have gotten out at a $50 profit target. At around 7:30. Right now it's 8:30, so around 7:30 approximately, we hit that $50 profit target on just the normal butterfly without the wings, without the snow tires. And the snow tire version just took like a little bit longer, like an hour longer. But you can see even at this point, I mean, we could continue to hold this if we wanted. We have a lot of nice area here where there's not a lot of risk. If it were to crash huge all of a sudden, like a flash crash, well, first volatility would go up, and so this thing would pop. But you can see down here we have unlimited profit potential to the upside and the downside, all the way down to zero. So a huge crash all of a sudden, like some weird, like what do they call it? Like the flash crash, that could create a huge profit here. We just have to figure out how to get out of that thing quickly before it comes back. But it's way better than without these. We're pretty much on a flash crash. We're at full loss at that point, $565, right? So with these snow tires on, worst case scenario as it stands right now is a loss of $60-70, and on the upside, well, this is showing all profitable. That's not really true, though, I don't think. If it were to move up, this would come down a bit. But I mean, the way that I would look at this personally, I'm gonna use the return, the technical risk on this, which is 690, the blue line, the most this position can lose at expiration. But in my head, I would consider using this number as the risk. So we made $55. We just made $55 on what's the lowest point of this pink current day P&L right now, approximately. And the lowest point is showing a loss of about $80. So let's just be more conservative and say 100. So we made $55 on 100, which is a 50% return, with no real. My friend last night I was talking with, he was mentioning that, and I thought the same thing too. But when you can do things like this, the way he thinks about zero DTE options is that it's gambling, and I can totally understand that. I mean, it can be a way that a lot of people trade it, and I used to think that too. But once this year, when I started that project and started kind of exploring more of what we can do, and now that we have daily options, like on the SPX, I wouldn't consider this a gamble trade. I mean, we can get a nice return out of this, and worst case scenario is lose. I mean, if there was a crash, if we did nothing, if we walked away and just we fell asleep at the wheel all day, I mean, that would be a problem, but that's going to be a problem anyway. So this trade was closed down. So this is our real money trade, 15 wide with the snow tires on. So that's a cool idea. And maybe I'll keep looking into that. Maybe that could become like, well, let's call that the grandma version. But hey, I'm getting there, or the grandpa version. I'm getting up there. So that's it for this update. I'll come back in let's real quick. Let's take a look at the other positions, the paper money positions that we are tracking. So here's the 5 wide. Okay, the 5 wide, we're up like 10 to 20 bucks inside the tent. The 10 wide, we're up 60 bucks inside the tent. That's the 10 wide. The 15 wide, we're up 100 bucks inside the tent. And the 20? Yeah, the 20 is up 150-ish inside the tent. 25 is up 186 inside the tent. This should be the 30. Okay, I gotta turn it on. Here's the 30. 30 wide, we're inside the tent, we're up 190-ish. And then the final one is the 40 wide. And we're inside the 10 on the 40 wide, up 186-ish. So that's that. That's the update. And let's just go back and look one last time at the real money trade with the snow tires on. So here's where that currently stands. You can see that it's showing a profit of 70-ish. 70 bucks. You can see these starting to droop. They'll continue to droop throughout the day. But even with a pop in volatility, this would come up a bit. If it raced up, there would probably not be a pop in volatility. This would be saggy. And it'll just continue to sag. But if we can like milk our profits out, like in the first couple hours of the day, these things are still holding up pretty well and would protect us from like a catastrophic or like a full loss. And more in the realm of like a 1-to-1. Like you can see the low point here is minus 90 bucks. So it's about like say minus 100, which is 2 times the profit target of 50. And there's a lot of things we can do too. If it starts to move up here, you can see that the slope is really just flattened out. So we can take our time. We could do some of the other adjustments that we've done. Just look up my other adjustment videos on this. For example, we could add another butterfly right here and either keep this long put on or not, depending on how that changes the risk graph. We could do the same thing on the upside, add another one. We could roll this leg up by 5 points, and that would bring everything up here. This is just like a slow motion version of the trade, but I think it's pretty cool. I think that it's a lot less risky. We have to wait a little bit longer. I've done these before, but it's been a while, so maybe I'll do a couple tests. I mean, there's probably pros and cons that I'm missing right now, so maybe we'll do a couple of these tests going forward. Maybe even switch everything over to this. I don't know. We'll see. So that's it for this update. I'll be back I got to run around, do some errands, so I'm going to be back at say 10:30 and do the mid-morning update on all these. So I'll see you then. Here it is, Wednesday, May 22nd, and it's 10:41. Here's our mid-morning update. Let's first look at our live trade. We already closed this trade down for our profit target of 50 bucks. But let's take a look at where this position would be had we held on to it. So this is our Snow Beast trade, snow tires. And it's simply just the same butterfly that we've been trading all along, 15 points wide, but we just added wings to it, like a call up here and a put down further. Let's see, you can see it right there. And at the start of the day, this was balanced, really nice and balanced, but you can see as the day progresses, these are starting to droop. Well, this one's not, and I think it just has to do with the big move we're currently in right now. We're just kind of tanking. So that'll probably settle out and start to droop over here. But if we had just stayed in this trade and not gotten out with these wings here, these snow tires, this trade would be down about 75-ish bucks, 50. It's jumping all over the place. It just continues to move down here. So it's kind of all over the place, but I saw like probably 90 at the high end and let's say 60 at the low end, somewhere in that range. So it's protecting us nicely. And the thing is, like, if it keeps tanking, even though we're underwater, I mean, we're going to have, like, worst case scenario at this point, it'll be like 100. If it comes down here, it'll be like 100 and like $100 or so, 110, 120, which is just over our one times stop. I mean, our one times profit target, which is totally doable and reasonable and acceptable in a big move like this. And if it keeps tanking down, we can see we would just keep going up on the downside. Let's take a look at this trade without the wings. So without the wings, you can see that we're on the slope. We're sliding down the slippery slope. We're down about 100 and it's jumping all over the place. Like, let's say like 100, 110-ish. Well, there's 140. Holy moly. But if it continues down, we just have more loss, all the way down to our max loss, which is 565 bucks. So you can see these wings. This is late in the day too. Ideally, we want to get this trade off before midday, 10:30ish, which we did. And so this is late in the day. And take a look at this. So we're just kind of like tanking here. Big move down. I wonder what's going on. So anyway, at this point we're at a minus 70, minus 60. So we could totally get out of this trade for just over a one stop profit loss. I mean, profit target, 1 times the profit target. And like, we're not in any stress. We're not trying to hurry to do it. We're not trying to chase price, like caving in, trying to get out. We can take our time. And if we continue to watch this thing is rising up. Like, the volatility must be kind of rising up or something. You can see that, well, it's pretty jumpy, but I think it's reasonable to say we could get out of this right now at $50 or less. And maybe even a lot less. So that's the snow tire trade. One of my favorites. Okay, now let's look at the other trades, the paper trades we had. So here is this is the 5-point trade. This one we're outside the tent and we're currently down 27. This is the 10 wide. We're outside the tent and we're down 60-ish. This is the 15 wide. We're outside the tent and we're like down 113, 110, 120 in that range. Here is the next one. This is what is this? This is the 20-point wide. And we're just outside the tent, showing a loss of 177. Here's the 25. Is that the 25? Yeah. So we're inside the tent, but we're down 222 on this one, on the 25 wide. Let's go to the 30. 30 wide, we're inside the tent, but we're underwater. We're down 280-ish. And then the last one is the 40 wide. The 40 wide, we're inside the tent, but we are down 300 and let's say 300 or so. So that's all the paper trades. Let's take one last look at our snow tire trade, the Snow Beast. Look at that. Oh, there we go. So this trade is right here. We're down, showing a loss of, we're down like 90-ish. All right, so that's it for the mid-morning update. We'll come back at end of day. We'll take a look at the last looks and settlement, see where everything settles out at. All right, see you in a couple hours. Okay, here we are. It's 11:03, and I just wanted to pop in here and take a look at this, the snow tire trade, the Snow Beast. So we've had a big drop. I think it probably has something to do with the Fed minutes or whatever that is. But you can see that we're way outside this tent. This trade was already closed for a profit, but I'm continuing to monitor it. But you can see that, like, just from the down move alone with that snow tire on right there, this position is, well, it's getting a little wonky now, but this position is at break even, and it was profitable. Maybe it'll come back. Well, well, it's hard to say because this thing is, you can see how it's tweaking. The line's tweaking out. Let's see if we can get it to settle again. Turn it off. Thinkorswim is back at it. Bad habits. Okay, so let's turn those on. This is our original. Yeah, it's still tweaking out. So that's not really a realistic look right now. This should be in here. So let's just give it a minute. See if we can get it to calm down a bit. But even right now, so we're way outside the tent. This is down $39, 30, 40 bucks. Without the snow tires, let's take those off. So without the snow tires, you can see we're down like, right now we're down, what is it, 300, 200. It's jumpy. But 200, 250. So let's put those guys back on and see what the snow tires do. So with the snow tires, we're down 120, 30, 40-ish. We're getting a bounce back now. So that was probably, since it's 11, that was probably had something to do with the Fed minutes. I think like the Fed minutes were released or something from like the last meeting. Something moved the market down really hard, and it seems to be bouncing back now. But even now, you can see that. So right before we got on, this thing was up. It was up about 20 or 30 bucks at the bottom there. You can see where it bottomed out at. Hold on a sec.
Order filled. Order filled.
Okay, sorry. So, like where the SPX bottomed out at, like right at 11, 1102, 1103, the position was up about like say 30 bucks or so. It was above the zero line thanks to the leg there, the snow tire, and now it's backed off and it's coming. Well, it's bouncing around now, but it's come back pretty good. And so now we're at 123 down, between 100 and 140, let's say, which is not a disaster if that were to happen. But without the leg, without the snow tire on, let's take a look at that. So we'd be down, well, let's say 100, 200 bucks, which may not be a disaster too, but it's significantly above our 2 times stop loss amount that we want to try to get out by for sure. So I'm just going to watch this for a few seconds, see if we get another down move. Another push, oh yeah, maybe another push down. I'll turn those legs back on. Okay, so here it is, the position right now. You can see it's down like down about 100 bucks, which is 2 times our profit loss. I think we could get out of this for 100. If we were to release the call, even the call side, let's see what that would do, if anything. So we're going to get rid of this call. This thing is probably down to 0 now, or not, maybe not 0, but down significantly. Okay, so this gives us a little bit more of a better look. So you can see the price popping around there as this thing moves. But we're showing like a loss of 50 bucks, at most 100, I think. I think we could totally get out of this at 100. And this is just, I mean, that may not be our profit, I mean, our stop loss target, but the whole thought behind these snow tire trades are if something big like a move like that, like a move that's kind of unexpected and big and sharp, we're not going to get killed. You know, we're going to have a chance to potentially profit if it's a big enough move, even more than we would be shooting for. And even here, like where it's at, if we want to get out of this, we could get out for like 50, 60 bucks right there, which is our one stop number where if we didn't have those legs on or those snow tires on, this position is down about, let's say about, I'd say $200. We'd probably get out of this at $200. So this is just a good example of the beauty of these snow beasts. And I'll come back. So that's it. I just wanted to do a real quick. Since we had this sharp move down, it was just a perfect example to show what could happen during one of these down moves with this particular setup. So I'll continue to watch the market. If the market tanks again and we get down in here, I'll definitely capture that on screen. But otherwise, I'll see you at the end of the day for the final settlement numbers. It's 11:10 a.m. Wednesday. All right, see you soon. Test. Okay, here we are. We're back. It's 11:20, and the SPX has continued to move down. So take a look at our position now. Here's our Snow Beast trade. The snow tires. So you can see that now the position is positive. We're up $28, $30. I'm just going to kind of watch this for a bit and see if we can. Let's just watch Rome burn here. Does anyone have a violin? So now we're up 130. So we've tanked, and without the legs, had no snow tires been on this trade, and we held this on this long, which I wouldn't advise. I don't advise anything. But you can see without those legs, we'd be down $300 and $400 right now. About $400 down. Almost our max risk. Hey, do you guys? There's that new that new Mad Max movie coming out, or is it already out? Oh, look at now we're making a move back, so it's really volatile. But you can see there was a point there where we were positive. Let's just kind of watch this, and this is kind of. Oh, there we go. That looks more believable. That not so much. It's just jumpy. So let's just watch this for a few minutes. Let's get out the popcorn and watch the fireworks go off. We're already out of this trade. We took our profit at profit target, $50 early on, like an hour and a half in. But let's just see if we can get like a nice move down and get just a recording of a really nice example of how these snow tires can kick in and save our bacon. So we have about an hour and a half left in the market. Let's pull up the news and see what happened. Maybe Pamela Anderson died or something. You guys seen Pamela Anderson lately? She's a cool girl. Okay, so let's see. Let's just go to CNBC. Okay, here we go. Dow slides 200 points as Fed meeting minutes show inflation worries. So it's inflation stuff. I suppose the meetings came out at 11. Federal minutes indicated worries over lack of progress on inflation. So I guess that's what this is all about. Let's look at Pamela Anderson. How do you spell? Oh, here we go. Pamela Anderson. Well, that's what she used to look like. Here she is now. Look at her. She's gone green. She's like, she's natural. I think that's great. I don't think she wears makeup at all. She's kind of making it her thing not to wear makeup anymore and just la naturelle. Let's see. Yeah, like that. Hey, man. That's sort of what I look like in the morning without makeup. No, not even close. Okay, what else we got? Oh, yeah, Tommy Lee Jones. Remember that? Remember that whole thing? Oh, this is barbed wire. Okay, enough of that. Let's see where okay, so we're moving back up again, so we're kind of back in this tent or this droop. But even then, this is pretty late in the day. I wouldn't never want to necessarily stay in a trade this long. This type of a trade this long, I would want to get out before like 9 or like halfway through the day. But let's just say we did for whatever reason, even with this thing on a move down like this, we could get out now for $80, 70, $80, 90, 100. That's just like, that's in our range. That's our 200. I mean, that's our 2 times profit target stop loss. And without them, let's see where we would be now. Without the tires, we would be down 465. Oh, that would suck. Our max risk on this is 565. So let's put those snow tires back on. Looks like we may be making another little push down here. Okay, there. Oh, we went positive for a second. We're down $27. That says we're up $13. So we're basically at break even here. We can get out at break even after a big move like that. Yeah, it looks like it's making a move. Another move down here. Let's see if we get positive at all. So we're trading under 5,300 now. So I'm going to check on another trade real quick. Oh, I'll give it a minute. Okay, then we're up 72. Hey, that's not too shabby. We have $80 of profit now as SPX continues to move down. 104 profit. That's nice. I mean, with the market so crazy right now, I don't know if we would be able to, like, how easy it would be to get out, but we could get out. I've gotten out of trades like this. There's going to be some slippage, but 179, 200. That gives you plenty of range to get out with profit. So it's showing 184 profit now on the downside. With the snow beast in full control. 148. Yeah, let's just kind of sit here and watch this for a minute. I should probably, there's another trade I want to try to do real quick. So I'm debating pausing this for a minute, ducking out and going doing that, and then coming back and seeing where we're at. This might be the low though. So it's showing we're up $100. So I'm going to pause for a minute. I'm going to go take care of some other fires real quick, and the good fires, and I'll be right back. Okay, here I am back, and oh, look at that, we're still up. So we're up, now it's showing a profit of 225, 200-ish. We're still on above the zero line, nice now. So the profit we could pull out of this, if we get out of this butterfly pretty easily, is past our profit target of 50, like way past it. So let's just continue to monitor this for a minute. Let's go to, I mean, with a trade like this, it's pretty late in the day. I was just kind of thinking in my head, like, these days like this where we know there's the potential for movement, like crazy movement, like Fed meeting or Fed minutes. I wonder if there's like a strategy we could do where we could put this on the same sort of a setup where it's like a butterfly at the money, like right before the timed event, and then just give it those snow tires, and then try to like gamma scalp it kind of. right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pause, and we'll come back at 12. We'll come back at 1 market close to see how everything settles out at the end of day. Unless something drastic happens when we really tank, I'll definitely pop back in for that. So we can get up to $1,000. We got to get $1,000. We need to get down to 52.74, which is like not that much. That's like 10 more points, 15 more points. That's realistic. Right now, the position is up about 100. All right, so I'll keep my eye on it. If anything exciting happens like that, I'll come back on. Otherwise, I'll see you at the end of the day. See ya. Okay, here we go. It's end of day settlement. Last looks. So let's go through our trades and see where we wound up for today. Let's go through the paper money. Well, no, let's go through so we had a live trade on. It was a new version of it. It was the snow tire version, the snow beast. So this is a trade we closed out early on, like in the morning, like an hour and a half in, for our $50 profit target. Actually, we made $55 on it. And so this was a winner, but this is a different setup. And you can't tell now because everything's collapsed. But if you missed the beginning of this video, or if you just kind of fast forwarded to the end to see the final results, you should definitely check it out. Go back and watch it. This one's worth it. This might be like one of the more important videos I've ever made with this concept, I think, and how it works out and how to implement it and all that. So, but anyway, so if this trade, you can see everything's collapsed. We had wings, what I call snow tires, on this throughout the day to protect us against the big move one way or the other. And so what we do at last looks is just we pretend as if I put this trade on in the morning and then just walked away, forgot all about it, and then just let the market close and settle and just see where we would have wound up had we done nothing. Again, this isn't a real scenario because this was a real trade we put on and we closed at our profit target. But this is just the last looks thing we do where we just see where they wind up. So in this scenario, this trade would have wound up at settlement at a loss of 462. And without the snow tires, would have wound up with a loss of 355. And then let's do our paper money trades. So this is the 5-pointer. We had a max loss at end of day if we held it all the way through of $80. This is the 10-pointer. If we held it all the way through without doing anything, we would have wound up with a loss of 270, the max. This is the 15-pointer. Had we just held this all the way through without doing anything, we would have wound up with a loss at settlement of 370. Here's the 20-pointer. This one, we're not hitting our max loss, but we're still a loss. It's on this wing here. So at settlement, this trade would have given us a loss of 262 had we just held on to it and done nothing. Okay, so this is the 25-pointer. This one would have been a loss at settlement of 192. This one here is the 30-pointer. Would have been a loss of 157. 157 at settlement. Had we done nothing with it, just let it go to expiration. And then the 40 wide would have been a loss of 142. Those are always kind of close. That's interesting. So the 30 wide would have been minus 157, and the 40 wide would be 135. It's moving around. Okay, so let's pull out our Excel sheet and fill that in. Okay, here we go. This is our end of day tally. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it down here below. Today is May 22nd. May 22. And so then what we do is we just get the risk for each of these widths, the paper money trades, And we can say this was so the morning would have been a win. Win during the morning session. Win during the middle of the day, right? And then all losses if we held to expiration. So let's get these numbers real quick. So let's go back to that's the live money. Let's go to the 5-pointer. So the 5-pointer, the risk was 80, and we took 80. So 80, and the 10-pointer was 270. So 80 and 270 minus 80 minus 270. That's the risk, and it's also the loss right here for those numbers. Okay, let's go look at the 15. The 15 wide. The 15 wide is a loss, a max risk of 580. Yeah, we're doing max risk. So 580 and 965. 580 and 965. 965. So then we'll go to the next one, which is, this is the 25. Yeah. 25, the max risk is 1395 and 1860. 1395 and 860. Oh, those are backwards. Right? Oh God, I'm already screwing up. Okay, let's get this one at a time. So this is the 25. The 25 wide is 1395. Okay, so we got that one, right? The 25, no, this is the, that was the 25. Is that what I got? Yeah, 25. The 20, I think the 20 is 860. I skipped one. Let me just make sure here. What's this? So the 20, oh, the 20 is 965. What happened there? 965. 30 wide. I always seem to screw this part up. The 30 wide is that's not 30, that's 25. So the 30 wide is a max risk of 1860. 1860 and 2845. 1860 and 2845. 1860. My memory's failing me. 2845. Okay, so those are the risks for all the trades. Now let's go through and do these where the profit would have wound up at settlement. So let's just go backwards here. So this one, the profit or loss would have wound up minus 143. We're looking at the blue number, the expiration line. So that's 143. 143 and 158. 143, 158. 143, 158. Okay, the next one is 193, 193 and 263. 193 and 263. Okay, so now we're at which one? We're at the 15 wide. The 15 wide would have been Let's make sure that's the 15 wide. Okay. So the 15 wide would have been a loss of 378. And the 10, 270. 378 and 270. Yeah, we already have those two. Okay, so that's that. That's all the paper monies. So now let's do the live trade. So we need to note that this is a slightly different version. This is the snow tire trade, snow tire version. So let's take a look at our risk on that. This is our live money trade. We got to add these wings. So the total risk on this was 690. And we won $55. The trade took about an hour and a half. So that's what? That's 90 minutes. And let's just see what the return on that is. So $55 profit divided by the risk of 690, 7.9. 7.9%. Not too shabby at all, considering we had a great, amazing protection on either side. Okay, so that's that. That's it. For all that, I need to throw out another song today. At this point, no one has gotten yesterday's song, and if you have, and I'll have to check in a minute, but the last time I checked, there wasn't. But there's a major clue in yesterday's video that should tip you off, I think. I mean, I think it would tip me off, but give it a shot. And let's just do a quick one today. Let me see, which one do I have queued up for today? This is just, I play a little tiny, it's like name that tune. Name that 0DTE 2.0 version tune. And I just play a short clip of music, like a couple seconds from the 60s, 70s, or 80s. And if you can guess it correctly and you put it, the first person who guesses it correctly and puts it in the comments, I'll hook up with you and I'll share I'd like to show you my new 0DTE 2.0 version trade that I'm hammering out the final details on. I'm tweaking it and tuning it in, finessing it. And I'm looking for some feedback and just some, see if you can shoot holes in it, see if you see any problems that I don't, maybe even paper trade it and test it out, and just general feedback on it. So I'm going to find the song here. I have a song here queued up. Let me get it ready. So this is going to be a short clip song from the 60s, 70s, or 80s. This is another one of my favorites. I'm sure you know the name of the artist. And if you know what this is, just put the name of the song and the artist in the comments. The first person who gets it right wins a fancy prize and reward. So here we go. Ready? Here goes. Okay, you got it? I think that was long enough. It's a great, great, great song. Okay, so that's it. If you think you know what that is, put that in the comments. Put the artist name and the name of the song. And first person who gets it right will hook up and we'll party on Zoom. And I'll show you my 0DTE trade, my new 2.0 version. And I'll let you test drive it and take a look at it and give me some feedback on it. Shoot holes in it. Tear it apart, whatever you want. I'm just looking for some feedback on this thing before I release it out into the wild, which is coming up soon. All right, so that's it for today. If you'd like to follow me on these trades or any of my other trades, just make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel below. Hit that subscribe button, and also be sure to join me on my website. I'll leave a link to my website in the description below. Click on that link, go over to my website, sign up for my free email newsletter, and we'll go from there. All right, that's it for this one. See you next time.